Okay, so first of all, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us in this session today on a Saturday evening. Um, and a very happy Women's Day, International Women's Day to the women out there in this group and to the folks, to the women in their families, in their circle. So, very excited to host this session today. I can definitely guarantee that you'll be learning a lot from this session from Radhika today. I will not take much of a time, but I just wanted to quickly share what is there, a couple of things. So, first of all, you all know, and Sagar is going to talk us about what is in the agenda today, but I just wanted to kind of thank our partners, which is Interview Club and Women in Product, to be our partners to kind of hosting this Women's Day special workshop on all about AI tools today. Before we get into this, I just wanted to talk about a training which we are very soon launching, which is around AI product management. This is going to be a very hands-on workshop, and this is going to be on April 19th and 20th. We are still preparing for the launch in terms of artifacts, payments, and stuff and everything. Right now, I just wanted to do a quick soft launch. So if anybody of you would be interested to join this session, this is going to be a very hands-on workshop leveraging AI tools, agentic AI, fundamentals of AI. So you have the QR code here. You can scan the QR code and send us your interest, and we will send you the brochure, which will have very detailed information about what is going to be covered as part of this course. Just a call out, this is not an online session. This is going to be a hands-on session, so you can understand it is going to be pretty intense. It is going to be in Bangalore. It is going to be over a weekend, 19th and 20th April. And it is going to be led by me and one more of my industry colleague who's a data scientist slash AI product manager. So I just wanted to so whoever is interested, feel free to scan this QR code. I will also share the direct Google form link on the chat. And that is all I had. And happy to get back to the agenda for the day today. Over to you, Sagar.
Thank you, Malti. And for anyone who's not aware, we have a WhatsApp channel, WhatsApp community. I have posted the link there, so feel free to join in. It's led by Malti, and you'll have a lot of learning and networking opportunities out there. Okay, thank you everyone for joining in for today's session. Welcome to Product Talks with Malti, a platform that brings together the best of minds in the product management. I am Sagar Vyas, product manager at Illusion, and I'm honored to be the host for the session today. And let me introduce on this International Women's Day, for all the ladies out there, happy Women's Day. And we are celebrating by learning from an industry expert, Radhika Saxena. He currently leads user engagement at Shadi.com, where she focuses on driving engagement for millions of users. With over a decade of experience in building and scaling products across both B2B and B2C spaces, she also has experience working in large enterprises and startups. As a founding member of Logistics, a startup, she built B2B product from ground up. And in recent years, she has been shaping user experiences in matchmaking industry. A quick thank you to our partners, Women in Product and Interview Club, for sharing this event with their communities. We truly appreciate your support. Friends, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll be answering them during the session. And without much ado, let's get started. Over to you, Radhika.
Thanks, Sagar. Thanks. And hi, everyone. And a very warm welcome for today's webinar. And I'm super excited to be doing this today. And before we dive in, just wanted to take a moment to wish all the incredible women out there a very, very happy Women's Day. And as a product management, the world of product management is evolving, and women are driving incredible innovation here. So here's to breaking barriers, embracing new possibilities, and of course, using AI to amplify our impact. So with this, I'll just share my screen. Okay. So to start with, as we all know, AI has been evolving at an unprecedented pace, right? Unlocking endless possibilities. It's just transforming the way, not just the way how we interact with the apps, but also how apps communicate with each other, right? So I created a video on Sora, and which showcases a futuristic vision, and now that feels so close to reality than ever before. So let me just show you that. So if you see, this is a video which kind of shows how there are all holographic ads and AI-powered drones in the skyline, and how the users are engaging in a floating virtual interface, right, interacting with various consumer apps, and the apps interacting autonomously and collaborating to suggest personalized options for the users. And not only that, the apps are adaptive, and it's the AI is kind of adapting to the user's needs and moods, right? So that's moving on. Let me tell you let me give you an overview of what's in store today. So over the next hour, we'll explore how AI can become your partner across the product lifecycle, and help you focus on what really matters, which is building amazing products and driving real impact, right? So we'll also engage in some hands-on exercises so you can start leveraging AI immediately. Before I start the presentation, how many of you use AI on a day-to-day basis? Can I get a quick show of hands? Awesome. Awesome. And please feel free to type in what are the top use cases for you to use AI, and what are the tools you're leveraging currently. That's awesome. I think a lot of people are using. That's great. Okay. Okay. So let me just get back to the presentation. Okay. Now, just taking a moment to understand with this rapidly evolving AI landscape, there are both opportunities and challenges, and product managers today are, firstly, since because of this rapid evolving landscape, we need to kind of continuously invest in learning and adapting, because that is the first thing. Secondly, I think the need to have the technical know-how is become more important than ever before, because we as PMs interact with data science team, and knowing that terminology is so crucial to ask the right questions to make informed decisions. And thirdly, I think there is an explosion of AI tools, and choosing the right ones can seem absolutely overwhelming. It's a decision fatigue, so I think that's one thing. So let's kind of look at how we can leverage AI across the product lifecycle. So as PMs, I think we have a number of tasks across each of these stages, and how can we leverage AI in each of these stages? Like, for example, in discovery and research, how can we leverage AI to make our jobs easier and help us get started, right? Similarly, we interact with so many stakeholders. We interact with design, we interact with marketing, we interact with the developers, and there are so many things that we need to do along the way. So let's look at how we can leverage some tools. So what I've done is I've created a tool summary, okay, and which we can leverage across, right? But I just want to take a moment to say that as PMs, our most valuable currency is time, and boosting productivity, whether it is by working more efficiently or staying updated with the latest trends, is absolutely non-negotiable. So I can't emphasize the importance of continuously upskilling, and hence I've put one or two resources which can help us do that. One resource that I find incredibly useful is deeplearning.ai, and then Google AI Studio. Would urge you all to kind of go and check this out. Now, what? So, and another thing here is, while there are a lot of tools that we can use for market research. For example, we can use perplexity.ai, this ChatGPT, this, for brainstorming, you can use IdeaMap.ai, right? For PPT creation, you can use Gamma, and so on and so forth. But so AI can help you get started, but you need to fine tune and contextualize it for your needs. So that is something that we need to be able to do to make the real impact, right? So let's get started with the exercises. Okay, let's start with the competitive benchmarking, right? Competitive benchmarking. And so here we'll use two tools. Are we ready to start with a hands-on exercise? All good?
Maybe we'll give some time, Radhika, to folks. Maybe Malti, you would like to join in, Malti?
No, I think it's okay. Let Radhika go ahead.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, sure. So for the first part, like I said, we all do competitor benchmarking, market research as part of our jobs. And let's get started with how to do this quickly, right? So the two tools we'll be using here is Prompt Genie and ChatGPT, right? So I know when a lot of you might have already used ChatGPT, and we know that in order to be able to leverage the power of these models, prompt engineering is incredibly important, because the prompt has to be very clear, specific. It has to be broken down into tasks for the LLM to return the accurate results to you, right? So Sagar, can you paste the link for Prompt Genie? Prompt Genie is a tool which will help you write prompts. Okay. Can we have the link, Sagar?
Yes. Right away, copying the link for our folks.
I'm hoping everybody is there on their laptops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so here comes the link for Prompt Genie.
Okay. So please, I'll just present my screen. Was everybody able to open Prompt Genie? Okay. So when you come to Prompt Genie, okay, what you can do is, whichever industry you belong to, whichever space you are from, say if you're from quick commerce or from the fintech space, right? We can just go to the prompt. Okay. So I'll just give a little, I just want to show of hands. Is everybody able to log into Prompt Genie?
Yeah,
If
maybe
anybody
let's
has a
give it
problem,
minute.
please type it out in the chat.
Yeah, let's give it a minute, Radhika, for people to log in.
Sure. I think Beena has a question. Beena, can you type it out in the chat?
No, I just I didn't put my hand on after the other question, so I'll just raise it and put it down.
Got it. Okay.
Pina was saying that she uses AI tools.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So,
Sagar, do you want to try to pin this message that you put on the chat?
Yes. Yeah, it's pinned now.
Cool.
It's pinned.
Thank you.
So, a quick show of hands in terms of, are we good to go?
Or put it in the chat, guys.
Okay. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not paid. You can use the free version. That it's not paid. I haven't paid either. You have a free, okay, let me just see if I can show you. Okay, I'll just present my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I think you can just get started for free here.
Yeah, you have to just scroll down to continue for free. Actually, that continue for free is way down when you have to
I
scroll all the way
agree.
down.
Yeah, it's here. This is what you need to click on. And then you'll see I want a prompt for. So I hope this is clear now. So what we do here is we enter, okay, competitor benchmarking for quick commerce apps. You can just type in that you want to do competitor benchmarking for whatever industry. You can say fintech, you can say anything, whatever you want. And then you click on generate prompt. And then it will generate a very detailed prompt for you, right? So, which you can just copy. Are we able to generate the prompt? We're able to generate the prompt. If you, okay, able to generate the prompt. Now,
So
what
Radhika,
we,
there's Jomi who's saying, can you repeat? So maybe if you can quickly
okay.
repeat.
So, you just need to go to this page. So once you sign up, you can just come here and it says, I want a prompt for. In this, just type in competitor benchmarking for quick commerce apps. That's it. And click on generate prompt. Are you cool? Okay. So, so now I'll tell you why this is important. Like I said, prompt engineering is very important to get the relevant outputs. And if you see how specific and detailed prompt it has generated, just by, the first, just when it saw the words competitor benchmarking, all we need to do is just copy it and paste it and open up Chat GPT. Sagar, can you paste the link for Chat GPT? Yeah.
Yes.
So just open Chat GPT and copy paste this here in Chat GPT. Okay. How many of you are there on doing this on Chat GPT? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you can use anything. Once you have the prompt, you can either use it on Perplexity, Claude, Chat GPT, whichever tool you're comfortable with, right? So now you see how detailed it has generated such a detailed, write up based on what you mentioned, right? Now, let's now copy that somewhere. Okay, just copy paste whatever you output you've gotten from GPT or Perplexity or Claude. You can use any of that. Just copy paste it in a notepad somewhere.
There is a question, Radhika.
Okay.
Competitor benchmark for, did you give a
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say competitor benchmarking for fintech or competitor benchmarking for whatever industry you want. Competitor benchmarking for quick commerce is what I demonstrated. You can do that for any industry that you are a part of. You can say competitor benchmarking for banking, fintech, whatever is relevant to you. Just copy paste the output from GPT that you got, right? In a Word document. Okay. Now we'll move on to our next exercise, which is let's create a presentation for competitive benchmarking. Are we good to go with the presentation? Okay, cool. Sagar, can you, Gamma
Yeah,
dot. Sagar has shared the, no, John, please type in competitor benchmarking for quick commerce or for quick commerce apps or dating apps, so, like that. Mention the space you are in. Yeah, competitor benchmark for dating apps
or any app for that matter, Jomi.
just like competitor, any app for that matter, right? So now we is everybody able to open Gamma? I'll give a minute.
Yeah, I think Gamma would take some time. You'll have to sign up, and you'll get a code at your email ID. Use that, sign up, and then it's free.
Radhika, do you just want to tell what Gamma does, why we are using Gamma?
Yeah. So what Gamma does is Gamma is a very, it helps you generate presentations very quickly, and it's very with a lot of visuals, and it has a lot of customization options. You can select the theme, you can generate the images based on what you based on your content. So that's what we are trying to see right now in terms of how we can kind of get this done on using Gamma. Are we on this page? Again, Gamma is a free tool.
Probably if folks have any questions, feel free to either unmute yourself or put it in the chat.
Swati says she's logged in.
Awesome.
Yeah, Gamma takes time. I agree to that. Let's wait for a minute. We should be good.
There are no initial prompts. You should land on a page like this. So you can click on create new. So this is the page we'll be on.
Yeah, for the first time before this, like there were prompts that you want to use it for personal use or
You can enter anything. You can say personal or
yeah, I did that. I'm saying like that's what like it took some.
oh, okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So when you see that there are like three options here, so you can either like in our case, we have the content generated for competitor benchmarking, so we can paste it in text here, or you can even generate the content here by just prompting it like how we did in GPT, right? So, or you can even kind of import any file from your existing document. For the purpose of this workshop, we'll just paste it. We'll look at this option, which is pasting in text. Okay, are we good to move? Shall I go ahead?
Could you just help me on the point where it says, just a moment, please, I just lost it. What do you plan to do with Gamma? Is there any specific thing I should pick up?
Gamma is used to create presentations.
It has multiple options here. Do
You can
want
choose
the
personal, Vaishali. It should be fine. You can choose
personal? I did, and the next option it's asking for what do you plan to do with Gamma? So should I just say generate images AI or turn my
Select
notes?
presentations. Select presentations.
Presentations. Create presentations. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay, so now with the input that we got from GPT on the competitor identification. We'll just copy paste that. And we'll just go to Gamma and paste that here. Okay. Once we paste it, you can just click on continue. Right? And then it'll give you like a preview of what you've given. And then you can just continue. Then you see themes here. You can select whatever theme you want, whatever color works for you, right? I prefer the lighter background, so hence I've selected this theme. And then just click on generate. And when you click on generate, now whatever input you pasted, it'll start generating slides for you based on that. Do you see that? Are we able to do that? Are we here with me? See how it's generating slides based on whatever inputs we've given. Are we able to do that? Is it cool? Super, right? Okay. So we go there, and then once the PPT generation is done, all you need to do is you need to just export it. You click on export. It'll give you options to either export it to PDF or PowerPoint or Google Slides, and you can select any of these. Like I generally export it in PowerPoint. And once you do that, you have your PPT. And just see, there you go. This is the PPT that it generated, right? Another thing that I would like to highlight here is this is all editable and configurable. You can change whatever you want. There are options here, to change layouts. If you want to add another slide in between, right, it'll give you options. You
Radhika, can I interrupt, please? How did you generate the, how did you export it or you
yeah,
did
so
something, right?
you just need to go here. So beside the, so you'll see your picture or your account here, top right. Do you see this?
Top right.
And there are
Okay.
3 dots here.
Okay.
And then
All
there's
right.
an option export.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So like I was mentioning, you can actually add slides in between. You can feel free to modify. You can change the templates. You can do whatever you want. If you're not, so it generates these images. If you're not okay with these images, you can actually regenerate it. So there's a lot of customization that is possible depending on what you're looking for. So you can explore this, and I think it's a really cool tool. Okay, so I think we did the competitor. 3 things we did so far. We used prompt Genie to generate prompts. We did competitor benchmarking, and then we created a
Radhika,
presentation.
sorry,
Yeah.
a doubt. I tried to export using the 3 dots and only the first
Okay.
slide got downloaded. Did I do something wrong?
No, I think probably you were selecting one of them, or I don't know. I mean, I'm not faced that issue. So is anyone else facing that issue, or were you all able to generate the slides, generate the entire PPT?
I think we should go to the end of the slide, whatever it generates, and then see. Otherwise, I think it is giving some issue.
It is downloading, but one slide at a time, not the entire presentation. It's generated 8 slides for me. for the content. But when I'm downloading, it is doing whichever card I'm clicking, it's doing download only for that.
See,
I
if
saw
you can see
option
my
of all
screen,
cards also.
you see
You may
my
want to
screen?
try.
Yeah, I think that's the option that you see, because for me it was able, I generated the entire deck. See, it exported the entire deck for me. All the slides got exported.
Okay.
Maybe when you're clicking on export, you need to select all cards. There's a drop down.
Can you just do it one more time, Radhika? Where did you click?
Okay, so you go to the three dots here, and then you click on export, and then all cards. So there's a custom range, and then there's all cards. There are two options. By default, it will be checked to
Okay, I
all,
got it. I got it. I got it.
and
I
then
got
you
it.
can just export it.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is clear. Yeah, super. I think all the slides were generated. Perfect. Now let's take it. Let's move on to our next exercise. Okay. Ready for the next exercise? Super. So the next exercise, we'll do some brainstorming. Okay. We'll let's ideate on how to improve user engagement or how to improve repeat orders for quick commerce apps. Whatever your problem statement is, I will be using the example of quick commerce. So I'll say, so for this, please, we will be using IdeaMap. Okay. Sagar, can you paste the link for IdeaMap?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sending it right away in the chat.
Okay. So
Yes.
IdeaMap, I don't think there's a login also needed. You can just click on the link and it'll you'll come to the home page. Okay, are we all here? Shall we start? Yeah, I think this is quick, right? So now you can describe your chat, whatever you want to brainstorm. So for example, I have my problem statement is brainstorm some ideas to improve repeat orders for quick commerce app, for a quick commerce app. Okay, just type in that prompt. Okay, you can, whatever your problem statement is, you can feel free to put it. If otherwise, just you can just use the same prompt as I'm using, and then click on brainstorm. Okay, now you see how it'll kind of create a mind map covering every aspect, and it gives you a great starting point, and then you can fine tune it based on your context, but it gives you a very good starting point. Could we do this? Okay, looks like everybody was able to do this. It's a pretty cool tool, right?
This is mind-blowing, man.
Huh?
This is awesome.
This is awesome, right?
Mohana, all our consulting workshops are going to be like this only now.
Dina, we shouldn't be talking about consulting work so loudly. What will happen to their jobs?
No, I mean, I created a whole presentation outline deck like this, I realized that a lot of your domain knowledge also is being, and you can learn about industries very fast thanks to stuff like this.
Yes.
If I have to set up like a data and analytics organization, earlier you needed like a CIO or a very senior person to understand. Now this gives you everything.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good use case that you're talking about, Dina, over here.
No, I actually had to do that. So in this case, I at least knew the team and I was validating if the output was right. And I was like, oh shit, so much so for experience.
Yeah.
I actually just want to add that, right? I mean, a lot of things that we are looking that it is able to generate very seamlessly and very quickly. I think the biggest thing is that use this as a co-pilot, because a lot of things it will give you could be very, very generic.
Yes.
So topping it up with your own specific
Yes.
needs, domain knowledge to make it very specific and directed, because the better instructions, more specific instructions we give it, the better it gives us the output.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super. So we'll move on to the next one now.
Before we move on, Radhika, maybe Malti, would you
Sure.
like to talk about the AI training?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of pause because a lot of you kind of joined later. So before we move on to the next one, couple of things. This particular session is being co-partnered between Product Talk with Malti and Women in Product and Interview Club. So thanks a lot for our partners. And you could join the YouTube link, which I just shared. And towards the beginning of the session, I was basically talking about training that Women in Product and I are going to quickly come up with. This is going to happen in person in Bangalore. And this is going to be in-person session. And this is going to be a weekend course for about 10 hours. And this will be completely hands-on. So right now we are soft launching it today. If any of you would be interested, I've shared the link to the form. Please feel free to send it, fill in the form, and I will send across the brochure to you. You can read it and decide if you would like to participate. And we will be launching this in another 1 week's time, before all the, the payments link and the detailed links, everything is done. So just wanted to call. So right now, Richa, this is only for Bangalore. This is going to be our first in-person cohort. We did 3 cohorts last year online, but this is the first time we are doing something in person. And to be honest, what we did last year, there is a lot more that has to be done this year because of agentic AI, the AI prototyping tools. So we are also constantly evolving our curriculum based on how the environment is changing. So Sagar just shared the YouTube link. The recording will be uploaded there. Okay, sorry,
And
Radhika, over to you.
Richa is asking if you have a Mumbai, anything for Mumbai, anything planned for Mumbai folks?
We will keep her informed.
We have 2 questions, Radhika, before we move,
Okay.
right? And that is, so Shruti has missed the prompt that we put in idea map. Maybe if you can help with that. And another question, which is interesting from Meenal, is can we download this mind map?
Can we download? So I think you can save and edit. It's a, I don't think you can download it. You can refer to it. It gets saved. So I haven't really tried to download it because I just use it for reference, but I'm sure there's an option to save it. I would say we need to explore it. I'm not too sure if you can actually download it as an image, but yeah.
Cool. We'll continue with Napkin.AI.
Yeah. Okay.
Meenal, print screen is working in case that helps you, but it is not allowing download for some reason.
This one share that you can do a download as a poster
Okay.
that you can print and hang in your office or something.
Okay. Let's move on to our next use case. Now, there is a lot of the next use cases. We need to many times, when we are doing documentation or whenever we are trying to pitch in the story, we need a lot of visuals to help us with the storytelling, and that's where this app called Napkin.AI comes very handy. Okay, so is everybody logged into Napkin.AI?
I'm sharing the link again.
Okay, so I'm assuming everybody is able to log into Napkin.AI, and I'll proceed. So when you go to Napkin.AI, right, you just need to click on New Napkin. Okay, there are two options: Draft with AI and Blank
पीछे से
Napkin.
कर, पीछे से.
Okay, Blank Napkin. When you click on it, it'll give you a screen. Your screen will look something like this. Okay. Now, for the sake of this workshop, now it can be, you can give anything. I have created a prompt. For example, we want to create a visual for this, right? 5 essential tips for prompt engineering, right? I'll just paste this in the chat. So you can paste this in Napkin.AI. Okay. What options are you getting, Prashant? Okay. So I'm assuming for most of us, we are able to log into Napkin and we could paste the text that I just posted on the chat. Okay. Okay, cool. So we go to Napkin.ai and then just click, just select this, right?
Can I interrupt? Sorry, once again.
Sure.
There's a little confusion. It says, how would you like to add text by pasting my text content or by generating text using AI? I'm sorry, a bit delay behind you.
So
What should I choose there?
no, you just choose, don't choose the AI option. Just create
Okay.
a new napkin. Yeah, just blank
Fine.
napkin.
Thank
Okay. Blank napkin and just copy paste it there, right? And then we just select the entire text like this. Okay. And then once you select, you'll see a blue icon like this, right? You click on it, okay, and it will generate a visual for you. Okay. And it'll also give you many options, right, for you to choose. See.
This is amazing. The options that I am seeing to generate are much different than what I see on your screen, Radhika.
Oh, awesome. So whichever you are,
Which means it's also, it keeps that uniqueness also in place.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
बहुत फंडू है यार ये चीज.
So once you, whatever visual works for you, just click on that like this. So now you'll see the other options disappearing and the choice, your choice appears here. Are we good so far?
Yes.
Yeah. So we could all get the visual of our choice. Okay. Now we can just take this and export this and use this anywhere we want. In a PPT, in a document, you can just export it and it'll give you a visual. For reference, I've also
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can you just repost? Did you put it in the chat what I should be pasting in the prompt?
yes, I did.
I don't see that.
Okay, let me
Sagar, can
pin
you
it
pin
out.
that?
I'll,
Can you
yeah.
pin that?
Or Radhika, I will not be able to pin. Let me send it again.
I'll send it again. Okay. No
Yeah,
problem.
I'll send it again. No problem.
Okay.
So
So
here
Radhika,
it is.
sorry.
No problem. Yeah. I have pinned it, and please, it's incomplete. The industry is, the spell is incomplete. Please complete it, and you should be good.
Oh, but this has only 3, right? So you need to give me the entire with 5 points, correct?
Oh, it's 5
Okay.
points.
I'll give it.
I think it's a character limitation. When Radhika pasted it, was 3 for me.
It's 3 points only.
Yes,
But
well,
with
yeah.
3 also, that's why it came differently a little bit.
Acha,
Almost.
okay. Yeah, so I think it's a character limit.
But it did work. Like it did
It
show.
did work, right? So it's to
Yeah,
give you an idea in terms of what it can do, whether it is 3 or 5, it'll adapt accordingly. So in my case, I could generate 5 because that's what the prompt had. And
So, Radhika, how different it is with from Gamma? Like Gamma, I know we gave our detailed text. Here, again, it gave us like kind of a prompt, but in a different way. So, is that the intention? Or like Gamma is also good, and if we are using like Perplexity or Chat GPT, get all the details and then just put it.
see, I think Gamma, the main purpose of Gamma is the PPT creation, and Napkin.AI is especially on the infographics, right? Which can be integrated into Gamma. So once you generate those infographics, it's the niche for Napkin.AI is the infographics. You can just generate the infographic and you can paste it in Gamma. So Gamma is primarily for you to is PPT focused. If you want to generate a PPT, add content, that's the use case for Gamma.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can vouch for that because I do the same thing for my classes. Use this thing, Napkin, for specific graphics, infographics based on what you're looking at.
This is awesome. Yeah, like awesome. Really awesome.
Radhika, if you could post the point number 4 and 5, maybe they
Okay.
can use it combined and they can kind of use Napkin.AI.
Okay, let me do that. I'll paste.
Thank
Radhika,
you.
this image can be saved.
Yes,
Or-
yes, it can be saved.
It
I'll
is
just
saving as a web page only. It is not saving
No.
as a image. It's saying save
me-
type as web page, comma complete. It's not.
Okay, just
yeah. Sorry.
let me show you. Let me show you in a bit. Just 1 second. I'll just copy paste these 2 points and then I'll present my screen.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is 4th and 5th, Sagar. I
Yes.
pasted the 4th and 5th.
Thank
Okay.
you. And
Okay.
Shruti has been asking if we can also put the IdeaMap prompt for her, please.
IdeaMap prompt. Okay. So the prompt I used is brainstorm some ideas to improve orders for a quick commerce app. That was
Thank
sorry,
you.
brainstorm. It's brainstorm. I think I missed the beat.
That's okay.
Anyway, it's raining suggestions for you, Radhika.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Thanks for
So,
sharing that.
so coming to the question, I think somebody had a question on exporting the image, right? You need to just click here on the image and export, and then you need to download it. So here, if you see, there are options like when I click on export, there is PNG, SVG, PDF option. You can select whatever works for you and then click on download.
And there's another question, Radhika. It says that is it possible to regenerate the prompts for new visuals?
Yeah, you can do it for whatever you want. You can regenerate it for whatever you want. You can put n number of use cases. This is just one case for the purpose of the workshop. You can do whatever you want. In fact, I'll tell you another thing. You can actually, let me show you. So this was one use case for, you just click on new napkin, right? Blank napkin. And we did the competitor benchmarking, right? So whatever we did for the competitor benchmarking, just copy paste that in the napkin, right? So this is a use case for the document, right? And then you can actually do that for every part of your, so here I clicked and I generated, okay? So in the document, you can keep creating these infographics as you move. Something like this, right? It's taking a little, yeah. So say, yeah, let's stay here, okay? And then now I come to say market positioning, okay? Then again, I just can select it again. Okay. So I can just go to market positioning and click here. And it'll generate infographics. So It can also, bottom line I'm trying to drive is that it can generate it for, just click here. Yeah, it generated here, and then now you can go and do it for some other part as well. So whatever you want, you can do here. So market positioning, if I take, I'll just say generate. Okay. So see, now you, as you move along in the document, you can keep generating infographics for that particular section. Does this answer your question?
And there's another question from Jomi, and it's specifically about what is the usage, right? So let me quickly scroll. So this is how many AI subscriptions are really needed. I spent rupees 2000 on ChatGPT subscription, and anything more than that warrants a question on how useful the app is. Do these apps have any limits of sorts in terms of usage?
Yeah. So it depends on your use case, right? So for example, all the apps that I've just walked you through have a free and a paid version. So if you are somebody who uses who does a lot of data analysis, then ChatGPT, it makes sense for you to purchase a subscription of ChatGPT because it's so simple. You can just upload the Excel sheet and it'll throw up all the insights and graphs and everything related to data. Then it makes sense for you to take a subscription. But for our use cases, if I just talk about myself, I have a ChatGPT Pro subscription, but other than that, I have not felt the need to take a subscription. I think that I could do my job with what is already available. So, the bottom line is it depends on your use case, it depends on the usage and the frequency of usage.
And it also depends on the apps, I guess, right? Because every app has their own way of
Yes.
usage limit.
It's a
And
premium one, yeah. So they give you a certain number of credits, and then you can subscribe if you need more. Yeah. Okay. Should I move forward?
Just another quick question, Radhika.
Okay.
Let's say there's a huge, text that we have posted on this, Napkin app. For example, the one that we just posted now. Can't we just generate multiple infographics at the same time, rather than taking it piece by piece?
Now, see, infographic is
auto-analyze, would it auto-analyze and generate the infographics for each of those sections?
I have not tried doing that for
I actually tried it, but I'm not able to figure out.
I think what makes sense is to break it down. Then the instruction is clear that, okay, this is related to performance metric, and hence it will be able to comprehend and give you a relevant image. For the entire document, won't make, how can I don't think that is the right way to do.
Yeah, if I may add, Radhika. So,
Yeah.
right, I mean, I think you need to start looking at what is the intent. What do you want to summarize with your infographic that you're creating? What is the message that you're trying to give to the audience? So start from there, and based on that, you need to select your content. For example, let's say if I have to talk about what are the AAARRR framework, right? So there is a funnel that we show, we talk about that. So think about what is the objective of your infographic, what is a message that you're trying to narrate out of that, and then put the prompt or the text for that. Then it will pick up. As I said earlier, the more specific you are, the better job these tools can do.
Absolutely. That's so true.
True, that sounds good, Malti. I was looking at it from an aspect where, like you see the entire PPT getting generated. If there is an option where it kind of collates each of those sections, and for each of those sections, it gives you the infographics. So you have the, relevant infographic for each section. At the same time, it is going to auto-generate it, instead of our manual intervention there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think the tool doesn't have that capability at this point of time.
Yeah. So I think the way I have done it, and exactly as what Radhika was telling earlier, you can, if you give a generic prompt, you can use your Gamma as more like your entire, presentation generation. But probably not for every slide you may need an infographic, right? Because that also becomes heavy for consumption for the audience.
True, that's true.
Right. So we will use it with a little bit of trade-off balance, that where do we have some complex narrative to be shown, or we need to break it up for better consumption for the audience. So while it is a great tool, Shruti, my point of view is that use it mindfully.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay. So hope we are good so far with the tools. Any questions? Do we have a tool to make a PM resume that gets? We'll do a session on the PM interviews.
So there's one question from Beena, Radhika, right? It's more of the same theme, that which is better, or like, do we have any specific that if you use ChatGPT, it's good for a particular thing, Perplexity, it's good for a particular, use case. So do we have anything like that for different apps, or we can just, use anyone based on the need?
Yeah, I think the usage of the app depends on the number of depends on your use case, and also the ease of use of that app. The way of prompting is a little different in each of these apps, and particularly I think Claude is very good for reasoning. Sonnet by Anthropic, right? That is very good for reasoning, and I think so I think to answer that question, it depends on the use case, and if you want it to be more creative, or you want it to have a strong reasoning, you can choose your apps accordingly.
Thank you, Radhika. I think we are good with the questions here.
Okay, now moving on. Now what I'm going to show you is something that is super useful, right? So I thought it might take a little bit of time, hence I thought in the interest of time, if we have time, we can do this. Otherwise, I can just demo it to you, and then you can try it. So this is for UI prototyping, right? So there are tools, there are no-code tools available right now, like Replit, Bolt, and Lovable, which help you create like a entire prototype in minutes. Okay, so let me show you an example, which I just created yesterday in like 5-10 minutes. Okay, so one of this is, if you can see my screen, right? This is the prototype that I created yesterday, right? It's a fully functional prototype wherein you can enter I've created the login flow. I've created for this grocery app and defined the categories. And this is all dummy data. So for prototyping, you can just use dummy data, and then you can just add to cart. You can show the entire flow of the app. So you see the cart, then you can click and check out on the cart, right? So similarly, I also did this for a particular feature, like say a search criteria, right? So wherein it generated, it quickly, gave me a prototype for a search functionality, right? So if we have time, we can do a quick demo of this as well. Are we game for that? Are we still here?
Yes, Radhika, I think we can.
We can? Okay. So let's go to replit.com.
I think we can do a demo, because hands-on, it will take us time to get into Replit and other details.
Okay. I'll show it. Okay. So I have prepared a use case. Let me just share my screen.
And this will be recorded also, so folks can also refer to it later on when they're actually doing the hands-on.
Okay. So I'm on Replit. Okay. So again, it's just a simple screen wherein you need to describe what you want the prototype to do. And I have defined that use case. I said, create a prototype for a search page and I've defined the fields with fields like age, location, within location, capture country, state, city. Okay. And then I've also said enable multi-selection in country, city, and state, right? And populate dummy data, right? So just one second.
Radhika, I have a question here.
Yeah, tell me.
So actually, I was trying to create a game app from Bolt, okay, Bolt Expo. But each time I changed the prompt or modified the prompt, say attempt one way, the UI and everything was quite pretty, but it was not interactive. So I prompted to make it more interactive. But there was some of the other functions that were not working, and in the end, the game was not interactive and playable. Now,
Which
and
tool?
each time
Which tool is this?
Bolt.
Bolt. Okay. I haven't used Bolt a lot, but
Yes.
we can look at.
Yeah. So my
Actually, can we park this question because others are probably not yet up to that speed. So let's park this question for a later part. Let Radhika finish her demo.
Okay. So
Okay,
we
sure.
said create a prototype for a search page with fields like age, location, country. Okay. I've just given it a prompt. Enable multi-selection and also populate dummy data. Okay. That's the prompt.
Radhika,
just
can you also upload? Can you upload like okay, you're supposed to type it out in words, is it? You cannot upload like say if you have created a table or something that shows what it should be. Different sections of the application.
You can do. I'm sure you can. See, there's a option to attach file.
Lovely. Okay, good.
You can
That's
also
fine.
upload your Figma files. No, here you can upload your Figma files and other
Oh, lovely.
low fidelity prototypes also here.
Nice, nice.
Okay. So, and then you just say start building, right? And it will start interacting and creating that for you. So along the way, it's interesting how, so I'm taking a very small use case, but as I was doing it and I was trying it out, the agent keeps interacting with you, and it'll ask you questions. It'll say, okay, can you see the screen now? Is it working as per expectation? And then you have to respond, and then it'll move forward. Say so now it'll come up with, like, I just entered the prompt, and then it came up with clarifying what I asked for, and then he said, okay, would you like to proceed with the implementation? Okay, so then I'll approve, and I have to just approve it if that seems okay, and then it'll start building, right? So this will take like a couple of minutes, but what I was trying to say is it was so interesting to see that the agent keeps doing a check-in with you to see if it's in line with your expectation, and you keep fine-tuning the app, right? You'll say, okay, no, I want this, don't do like this, explore this two a column layout. And then there are times when it gets stuck, and then it'll start debugging. So it's very interesting. I would suggest all of you, definitely try this out later whenever you have time. And it's a pretty useful tool to go back to your design with what you are envisioning, and nothing better than a prototype, right?
What they can do is they can embellish it from a user. So this will actually cut down the time between user design and product management, right? There's usually a lot of couple of sessions before we actually land on the design with them to go to engineering. Now it's like that can totally cut down the time, say from a week to maybe just, or even 2 weeks to just 2 days. I mean,
Exactly.
I've seen these sessions go very long when you're having a back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. So you see, within 5 minutes, I was able to generate a prototype, right? And then I can just save it And this way, so I've created one small page for the sake of this demo. You can actually create whatever flow you want. Like in the previous example, I was showing you the login page for the grocery app, and then discovery of the items, and then adding those items to cart, and then checking out from the cart. So whatever is your use case, you can keep building on it. You can just keep interacting with the agent and build. And there is also an option to deploy. So you can actually download Replit on that from the App Store, and then you can actually feel it like a real app. And it also has capabilities to integrate with your backend system.
Radhika,
yeah.
While you continue, a quick question on this.
Yeah.
So when you created the app that you were showing otherwise on the screen, were there multiple prompts given for every screen, right?
Yes.
Because it's working on screen basis is how it's functioning actually.
Yes. So I gave a bigger prompt. It takes more time, but then I defined the entire flow. I broke it down and I defined the entire flow that, okay, I want to create this grocery app. I want a login flow. I want a discovery, product discovery. I want these items. And then even the images that you saw, right? Like I showed.
Yeah, there were banana, there were like
so first
elements that were placed over there.
Yeah. It came up with inappropriate images. So then I said, no, I don't want these images. I want appropriate images for these. So we changed and refined it along the way.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it can actually do what otherwise with no code apps like Glide and all you have been doing on the fly, like a no code website or a portal that we are creating. This could really put in together a real used prototype on its own, and then also deploy it the way Glide does.
Yes. You can deploy
Actually, I probably just want to kind of warn, while definitely this is a great tool for working prototype. Just a word of caution. Again, these tools are also working on top of LLMs and stuff like that, right? So number one, your prompt has to be, as Radhika said, constantly be refined. You have to be as specific as you can. The second thing is that there is a lot of likelihood that at times this will get stuck, right? Where it is not able to deploy it, where it is not able to render it. So it will tell you that it is not able to do it. So there is always a likelihood that you may need to know a little bit of technical know-how. In fact, within the prompt itself, you can ask what is the problem, try to fix it. But I just want to say this thing is that, see, these kind of tools replicate all the names that Radhika was sharing. This has definitely given us kind of a great toolkit for us to give shape to our ideas. But the point here is that these are still working prototypes. Are they at a place where you can do a production deployment at a enterprise level? I think we are still very far from there.
Certainly. I think, and that goes for every tool that we have discussed or the ones that we have not discussed, that these are just how we have, in theoretical concepts, we have frameworks. Then you apply them with your usage of the real-time scenario. These are very similar to that. So these are tools that give you the capability to do things faster, to be able to think more structured, actually execute, bring them in reality. But eventually, how they get used in the real-time environment that you have is certainly how you said, you have to be cautious, you have to see, will they be capable enough? Will they be actually doing the job the way you want them to be? So that's absolutely true.
And these are product development tools. So there are a lot of questions, what kind of an LLM it can use, how the deployment will happen. So this is all, kind of guided over there and can be done over there. Unfortunately, in a demo right now, this is, I think, a great MVP that Radhika had put together, because at least we wanted to kind of get started, people to get to know how to use it. But if there is interest, we would definitely be very happy to take maybe a deep dive on specifically around these agentic tools. And of course, I had shared the link for our course also, which will be very focused on, like a 2-day workshop to be building these kind of prototyping, building agentic AIs and stuff like that. So a deep dive can be covered by the course, but yeah, we will also think about probably bringing something just for the prototyping part of it.
Yeah.
So far, which tools you have found most useful? Can you put it in the chat? Which I think we covered around 5 to 6 tools. Which of these were your favorite? Gamma. Okay. Replit, Gamma, IdeaMap. Okay, so I think we're getting a mix of all of them, but I think Gamma seems to be the prominent one here. IdeaMap.
Product managers spend a lot of time in presentations, no?
Yeah, I know.
And guys, while I think Radhika has few more things, and thank you for staying with us for all the last 1 hour, 15 minutes. I know Radhika has done an amazing job, but just a couple of call outs. Sagar will share the link to the YouTube where the recording will be uploaded, number one. Number two, we also have a WhatsApp community where you can find Radhika and Sagar and all of us in case you would like to know more about that. So you can join that. And the third thing is, after this session, you will also be getting a feedback form. So please do take the time out to fill it up, because that is very, very important for us to know that what went well, what can be better, and what kind of future sessions we should hold. So the feedback has all those questionnaires. So please make sure that you fill it up. And I think Radhika Shuchi has raised her hand for quite some time. You want to probably take her question.
Yeah, Shuchi, please.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bharti. Radhika, I had a question regarding prompt. So if I'm building something, right, and agar wo prompt generate if the basically I'm generating an app or whatever, right? Now, if I want to change one element, if say there are 10 variables or 10 different things, now I want to change one element, say just the color palette, right? So I am reprompting the entire thing, and it generates the output now that's being given out is very different from जो पहले था. So if yeah, so basically, how can I if I just want to change one thing from the previous prompt, how do I do that? And if you can share any resources, right, uh, on prompt engineering, some basics resources from where you can learn things. And also, I would maybe I could share the link to a pet project that I made. It's very silly and simple, but that is something that I do. Yeah.
So I think the problem statement is that every time you generate the prompt, it will give you a different you throw in the prompt, it will give you a different response. And even if you make a small tweak, like say the color, that is the nature of generative AI, right?
Yeah.
Every time you give, so I also experimented a lot of use cases, and that is what we saw, that's the nature of generative AI, and every time it's going to return a different output. But what we need to keep in mind is that we need to choose a model which doesn't hallucinate, which is higher accuracy depending on our use case. So there is no, it's not going to return the same output every time. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so you're saying that's not possible right now?
No, that's the nature of generative AI. It's going to give you a different outcome.
Yeah, that's true. That is why it is called as stochastic in nature. But I think one thing, Shuchi, I can say I had taken a session on prompt engineering, I think like 6-7 months back. Happy to share the content for that in the WhatsApp group. You guys can probably join there, or whenever we upload the recording, I'll upload the deck with that. It basically pretty much a lot of things that Radhika was doing, right? Which is about be more specific, try to give the persona clearly, try to be as specific what is the outcome that you're looking at, break down your problem. It is still simple English, but still it needs to be refined, right? So my suggestion would be try to follow those aspects, but happy to share those resources. I did that session quite some time back. Unfortunately, it was not recorded, but yeah, share the slides.
Yeah, please do, because I think the only way around this is to better and advance our prompt engineering skills. I think that would help greatly.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Radhika.
So we have two hands raised. Lakshya Bansal.
Hey, hi, Radhika. Thank you for sharing so much wonderful tools. We all are learning from them. My question is around, I think, I'm not sure if you're covering this ahead, but my question is around AI agents. So as a senior PM at my company, I'm required to build an architecture or, solve this problem of making multiple AI agents. To this AI agents, I provide jobs to be done as inputs. and define certain outputs, and I should be able to create this AI agents. So, do you have any amazing tools or a tech stack or an architecture for these creating these AI agents? I understand that there are 4 layers that will be taking the prompts, understanding the prompts. There is an orchestrator layer. You route these to different AI agents. Uh, but still, something more deep dive or some tools around it, some formula around it.
I think.
Can I take that question?
Yeah, sure, Malti.
Okay. So maybe you should try with maybe Mind Studio, or maybe try agentic.ai. It's called agent.ai, sorry. Agent.ai or Mind Studio.
Okay, these tools, what would be I getting out of these tools?
These are basically the orchestrator tools, which allows you to kind of think about them like a workflow,
Builder.
so that it helps you to kind of streamline what do you expect in each of the tools, what is the input, what is the output. You need to probably configure what is the kind of API that you want to call, what is a website that you want to, let's say, do scraping. So you need to provide those details to it.
Okay, so these platforms will create the AI agents. I just need to give the input and output. That's what
Correct,
these
correct. So
platforms
think about
do.
them, yeah. Think about them like a orchestrator, Lakshya, wherein
Got it.
you can do, you can think about it like maybe a better example would be like a workflow or a flow chart, where
Got
each
it, got it.
agent. So if I have to, Radhika and I were discussing this yesterday. If you look at everything here, right, everything is like an agent. You first go to
Right.
a prompt Genie, you generate a prompt.
Yeah,
Then you go to the
exactly.
next one, ChatGPT, you gen. So instead of that, you'll be calling APIs.
Okay.
That's what you need to do, right? Because probably over a period of time, this can also be done on user interface also. But right now, you need to do this through APIs, or you need to give the URLs through which you can pass it on.
Okay, so how do I integrate this with my data?
That's a very long one, Lakshya. So probably we'll plan a separate session for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can you just type in the platforms that you just mentioned?
Sure, I'll do
Malti?
that.
Thank you
There's
so
a-
much. Thanks.
There's a question from Karthik.
Yeah. Just wanted to add to what Malti said. If it's okay, if I can share one thing to Lakshya. Lakshya, if you have to build AI agents, it is more of think of it like a chat bot. So you can think of AI agents as chat bots, and if you want, you can also use another tool called Hugging Post. And there's another framework called Hugging Post and Langflow. Using that, you can build workflow. What Malti was exactly telling. So another tool you can use as well. So if you have to build what you're asking, your exact scenario, you have to create a RAG and all that. So with a mix of that and that entire workflow you need to build, and the RAG is essentially your data. So you'll be setting the context for that data to be linked to an LLM and all that you need to build, like a workflow you need to be building.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
And Lakshya, this is exactly what we also are going to be covering in our course, which I spoke about.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. Sorry to hijack. So my question and Radhika, Sagar, great session. I was just listening and I got to learn a lot of good productivity tools. One thing I wanted to know was on the training which Malti mentioned about agentic AI. So I wanted to understand what is going to be covered part of that and the details. If I don't know if it can be shared now or I can connect with you guys later and you can repeat.
Yeah, Karthik, one thing I would suggest is the form link. If Sagar can share that again, please fill in that form so that we are just collecting the interest right now.
Okay.
So this is going to be mostly on 19th and 20th April. This is going to be in person somewhere around Koramangala in Bangalore.
Okay.
And this is going to be 5 hours each day. So it's a total 10-hour session. And this will broadly cover your, overview of AI, fundamentals of AI. This will talk about how do you determine use cases for AI? How do you determine ROI for your use cases? What are the kind of metrics that one should track? It talks about how do you leverage some of these tools that Radhika spoke about, prototyping tools that it talks about. Then the other thing that we wanted to cover was that take some of the use cases from an agentic AI perspective and build a RAG around that so that you are able to orchestrate the entire sequence. Broadly, these are the things that we are looking to cover.
Sure, Malti. What I was looking for towards is agentic AI more from the use case where not the rack part, but looking into how companies are trying to solve using agentic, not AI agents, but agentic AI. So I wanted to understand from that perspective, if there is anything covered in the training.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we will be covering certain agents, which will be, let's say, for example, if I have to take an example like what Radhika was doing, you create an agent which is basically doing competitive analysis. In turn, it is basically going to call a chat GPT API or some kind of an LLM API and spew the data back to you.
Right.
Right. And probably you have the next one where it is probably looking at data. Or if you go back to some of the examples, let's say you want to create some dashboards. So you kind of configure your data sources from where it has to extract that data. The next one could be building Tableau dashboards out of it.
Right.
Right. So, and we are going to be building some RAG so that it becomes from an interfacing perspective. It looks at, and we are going to cover some aspect of data strategy because it's very, very important how you're thinking through your data strategy. So, but yeah, I mean, we are still ironing out. Me and Aniket are still working on the, details of the hands-on and the. So that is why I'm just doing a soft launch today. The brochures and everything should come out in the next week or so.
Sure, Malti. Yeah.
And this is not going to be more than 25, 30 people because we are going to be 3 presenters. So the idea is that we have a good ratio of participants and the speakers.
Great. Yeah, looking forward. I would be interested. So, if there's anything, please do share.
Yeah, Sagar, can you share the
I
link?
have shared the form. Yes.
Share. Okay. Thanks. The other question I have, taking time, is on the data privacy as such. So, whatever prompts we would be giving, and asking Gamma to create and all the other tools that we provide. So, are these tools from a data security perspective? How safe these tools are to use?
I think this is, see, again, all of them have enterprise grade, Karthik.
Okay.
Right. So my suggestion would be if you're using it for your own perspective, then do not definitely provide any kind of confidential information. But if there is an enterprise licensing that happens, then that goes through its own rigor and process, right? So if you're using it for your own, exploration and trying to see if you work, so be mindful of what data you're feeding into it.
Got it. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sure.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground on agentic as well. I'll just conclude. So I had just put up a quick few slides to understand or just give a high level view in terms of what agentic is. So basically, agentic AI refers to AI systems with agency. Like unlike the traditional models, they can autonomously make decisions, take actions. So a couple of differences between genetic AI and agentic AI is that agentic AI takes actions to achieve goals. Generative AI it's basically used to generate new content based on the data that it is already trained on, right? Similarly, in terms of interaction, agentic AI directly interacts, receives feedback, it'll adjust. In generative AI, that's not the case. It depends on a prompt, right? You need to prompt to be able to get an output. So some of the applications of agentic AI is like, say, in travel, right? AI can just plan your trips. It can look for the lowest rates and book flights and hotels. It can monitor prices and it can create personalized itineraries. Like Malti was mentioning a few use cases. I've just highlighted some of them for your reference. And some ethical concerns with AI in general is misuse aspect. We've been seeing a lot of deepfake technology, which deepfake videos, articles, which look very real, but they are not, right? Second thing is the bias and discrimination, right? So these are all based on the training data sets, and the bias in the training data set can result in a biased output as well, right? And the third one is around privacy and security. So they take a huge amount of personal data, and hence privacy and security become a concern, and it needs to be protected. So I think that's it for today, and thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you all found the presentation useful and can start leveraging AI right away.
Thank you.
Thanks. thanks. I definitely want to call out special thanks to Sagar and Radhika and to who have put it together, and a couple of folks, Nitya and Swati and Sumit, who have been on the background but has helped us to spread it. So, and thank you guys for staying for the complete 1.5 hours, and hopefully we will see more such sessions coming in. So do share this with others on maybe on social media if you want to do. We would be happy to have you guys also on our WhatsApp group and on our YouTube channel. And thank you, Radhika, again for the wonderful session. It was very, very insightful.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun interacting with all of you. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.